Welcome to the Mindset Chick podcast. If you are looking to stop settling and want to gain the clarity and confidence to manifest the life and biz of your dreams, then this show is for you. I'm your host, Christy Deer, sharing with you simple yet powerful and effective mindset tips that will allow you to attract more abundance, prosperity, and success into your life. So get ready, get excited, and let's go manifest some amazing things together. Welcome back to the Mindset Chick podcast. I am so happy to have you here. And being the month of February means being the month of love. I feel like it's just, when I think of February, I think love. I think of just not only the good candy and the roses, but just love, really leading with love, focusing on love, maybe reaching out to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, expressing your love, maybe making dinner arrangements for, Valentine's Day to go out with your love, or maybe just having a really awesome day or month to yourself and showering yourself with love. So this whole month, we're just going to be talking a lot about love, having love for yourself. And in turn, having love for yourself can actually change the world. How? Because changing the world starts with you. And if you're loving yourself more, if you're being kinder to yourself, if you're nurturing that relationship, then your relationships are going to change. The way you show up is going to change. The way you respond to other people is going to change. I mean, getting triggered by somebody is a choice, right? We have a choice to either react when somebody does something that we maybe don't like or we don't agree with, or we can say, that's an interesting point of view. That's an interesting way to look at it. We can, choose whether to judge or not to judge, right? And so when we're loving ourselves more, when we're having more love for ourselves, when we're being more loving, we can change the world that way. I was on a walk with my husband the other day and we were talking. We love our walks with our beautiful dog, Daisy. I do a lot of Instagram posts about that, Instagram stories. Daisy walks. She's so cute. She's our 2-year-old lab and she's adorable. And we were just talking and sharing, and we're talking a little bit about our world and different things that we'd like to see. And then also about, the things that we'd love to do this year in 2021. And I was talking to him about love. And I said, it's so interesting. What we focus on expands and what we give our attention to grows. What if we really focused on sending love out to the world? Just lots and lots of love. Just anytime maybe we saw something that we didn't agree with, or maybe we wouldn't have reacted that way, that we just take a step and step back and close our eyes and just say a prayer of, God's rich love to just overtake this situation, and just to even visualize love just being poured over our world and into the hearts, and focusing on love, 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 spreading love, being love, giving love, leading with love, responding with love. And I think when we heal ourselves, when we work on that relationship with ourselves, like we're doing here with doing the different mindset techniques and the letting go and the releasing, the more that our world could change. I mean, think about it. You're in your car and you're driving and somebody cuts you off and maybe almost hits you, cut you off, almost hits you. And you have a choice in that situation. How are you going to react? Are you going to react or are you going to respond, right? Are you going to respond with love or are you going to respond with anger and frustration? And of course, that's frustrating. Of course, it's a frustrating situation. Somebody almost hits you, cuts you off. It kind of makes you feel like they don't care about you and it's all about them. And sometimes it's, it'd be nice to be like, hey, excuse me, you just almost ran into me. But there's a way that we can respond. And our response is going to be a trickle effect on everything, right? It's going to change that whole scenario. So let's say we react with anger and frustration, and we pull around, and maybe we show them our nice finger and we cut them off. Maybe we're blaring on our horn. Maybe we pull in front of them and slam on our brakes. And, and then you see you're in this situation of like screaming different things back and forth. You see them angry at you and you're angry at them. And of course you can't hear each other, but you're both angry at each other, right? And then maybe that just frustrated you so much. And now you're on your way to this appointment, and now you're pissed off, and now you're not in a good mood. And maybe you call your best friend or you call your significant other, and now you're telling them this whole story about this horrible person, right? And it's going on and on and on. And now the people you've talked to have been sucked into your energy. And then, they're in this maybe agreement. Yes, people are horrible and they're terrible drivers. And so now this energy is just projecting and projecting. It's having a trickle effect. And then maybe the other driver is doing the same thing. Maybe they lash out at their kids or family, friends. But what if you decided, hey, I'm going to lead with as much love as possible, even when there was difficult people around me. Hey, I'm not saying this is easy, okay? But I challenge myself to do this as well, to lead more with love, to respond differently, and to change my outcome, to basically not allow anybody else's emotions to change my day. Because when we do that, we actually give the other person power, right? We're basically saying, hey, I was in this mindset. I was in this great mood. And then all of a sudden you cut me off, and now you've changed my entire day. That gives the other person power over your emotions. What if you said to yourself, you know what? Oh my gosh, this person almost hit me. I am so grateful that I didn't get in a car wreck. I'm so grateful and thankful that my angels are around me, protecting me. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God, for protecting me. Wow, that was a close one. I think I'm going to kind of stay back a little bit and get away from this driver. They look like they may not be in the best mood, or they may not have seen me. And some people don't even see you, right? They may not even see you because they're focused on something else. We never know what somebody's going through, right? Sometimes when I see people speeding down the freeway or the street, it's definitely not safe at all. Sometimes I think, wow, I wonder what's going on. What if they have an emergency? What if they just got some bad news? What if they're really hurting right now? The main thing is, what if they have an emergency, right? We never really know, but I'm not saying that that's okay. But I try to look at things differently. I really try. I'm not perfect. We're all human. We have emotions, and there are times when things can be really frustrating and people can be frustrating. But I think about that a lot. Am I going to allow this person to change the direction of my day because of their choices? And to just really have compassion. It's not always easy, but to really have compassion, take a step back, take some deep breaths, that helps, and lead with love. But I think if there was more leading with love in our world, I feel like our world would be a totally different place. And so that change starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with, what do I want to see more in the world? I want to see more love. I want to see more peace. I want to see more kindness. Okay, so I need to be those things. And that's how it's going to change the world. And speaking of being kind and loving and all that, I really want to talk about nurturing that relationship with yourself. And on our previous podcast, we talked about taking inspired action despite fear, despite feeling, judgment, and, just really, really showing up and taking action towards your goals. And I want to talk about carrying that over. I want to talk about taking action still, but I feel like this needs to be said. I feel like a lot of times we put way too much on our to-do list, guys. Okay, way too much. And we're really not being that kind to ourselves, because we are putting so much on our to-do list that, who could get this done in a day? Really? And then we write down all these things that need to be done. And then we beat up on ourselves for not getting it all done. And sometimes we don't give ourselves enough quiet time, enough stillness, enough relaxation, because we're in the hurry, we're in the hustle. I have to get all this done. My kids have to go here. I have to go there. I've got to, do all these things on my to-do list. I have to cook dinner. I have to clean the house. I have to do all these things. And while there are things that need to be done, I get that. Every morning when I wake up, after my morning mindset, I love to make my to-do list. I absolutely love it because it makes me, I love to scratch it off when it's done. But I have to, having all those things that I desire to do or need to be accomplished, need to get done for the day. Having them in my head is exhausting, right? And it actually takes up space. So that's why it's so good to write it down on paper. And how many times have you woken up in the middle of the night, or you go to bed, you lay your head down on the pillow, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to put this on my to-do list and that on my to-do list and this on my to-do list. Well, that happens to me. And I'm like, turn off, brain, turn off. I just say a prayer. I say, okay, just help me to remember this in the morning. I do not want to get out of bed and have to go write this down right now. Just help me to remember this in the morning, and then I can write it on my to-do list. But here's something that I found that really, really works for me. It's a couple things. Okay, so I love to make my to-do list, but numbering my to-do list from, 1, 2, 3, 4, from most important to least important of the day. So 1 being the most important thing on my to-do list, and 5, being the least important, or however many to-dos I have, right? I number them from most important to least important. And then I start on that list. So I would accomplish, number 1, and then I'd go on to number 2. And, if I don't have time to get everything done on that list, just move it over to the next day. And that's okay. Giving myself grace. And I also do time blocking, which I really think has been a really big help in my life. And my husband has really, really recommended this for me, and it's really worked. So it's time blocking. So as you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur. I work out of my home. I work in my home office. And when mama comes in here and shuts my doors, mama's working. Don't bother me, right? But I have, office hours per se, where I come in here, usually work out in the morning. Sometimes I work out later in the afternoon, but just depends. But after my morning mindset, after my workout, maybe after walking Daisy, then I will have a time where I will time block from this time to this time. I'm in my office, and, these are the things that I'm going to get done today. And I number them from highest priority to least priority. And then I start on that list. And I also have found something really helpful to do is not get on the scroll hole on social media. So whenever you get on social media, set your intention, why you're getting on, do what you need to do your post, comment, respond, check your messages, and then get off. Okay. Because that can be a huge time waster. And then, you're like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? I didn't get any of this done. And then you're feeling overwhelmed. Then you're beating up on yourself. Why didn't you get all this stuff done? Then maybe you're exhausted. Then maybe you're snapping at the kids. Maybe you're snapping at, friends or your significant other. And maybe you're snapping at yourself. And then that whole, giving yourself love and being kind to yourself that's out the window. And so if you can't do that for yourself, how are you going to do that for other people? Right? It's really difficult to show love, compassion, and kindness to other people when you're not doing that to yourself and you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed or hurried, or I'm not doing enough. I can't get it all done. I feel like it's really helped me not to put so much on my to-do list. And, even my kids too, being able to do things in school and growing up and doing extracurricular activities, but being able to balance that as much as possible without having to be overwhelmed and exhausted and feeling just worn out, and that they're just having to do so much, because having quiet time, having time to yourself, having a relaxation time, at least a little bit every day. I think at least 20, 30 minutes a day, at least just quieting your mind. It's so good for the soul. Just turning off the noise, turning off the dings on your phone, turning off the TV, even turning off music, and just being still and stillness and just quieting your mind and is so good for, it's just so good. And, when we're working on manifesting and attracting things to ourselves and becoming a magnet to our desires, then like I've mentioned before, being in that hustle, I've got to do 5 million things every single day energy is really going to block the flow of universal forces of loving energy flowing to you and guiding you. And, there's always that abundance. There's always that flow of energy flowing to you. But in order to receive it, you have to energetically sync up with it. So just loving and nurturing and kinder to yourself about having so many to-dos, taking so much action. Things in my life, the biggest paydays for me and the most success I've ever had in my business and with life is when I'm in more of a relaxed energy. When I'm more in a relaxed energy, I get more customers, people reaching out, wanting to be customers, more people reaching out, wanting to be business partners, join my team, and more people reaching out about doing coaching with me, or just people doing my self-study courses. I'd see the notice on my email that somebody just, invested in a self-study course. And so the most successful months, the most successful times in my life is not when I'm in a hurried, I have to do a million things energy where I'm frustrated and feeling maybe unsupported or overwhelmed, but I'm feeling totally guided and supported by the universe. I'm feeling that balance of the inspired action with also the energetic alignment of my desired goals. And it's when I'm in this fun energy, this loving energy, this just, taking a break, going to playing some games with my kids, spending time with the family, saying, what, does that really have to be done today, or can that be done tomorrow? Do I really need to do more? What am I doing more for? Does that really need to be clean today, right now when I'm exhausted? Or do I need to go just jump in the bath and take a nice relaxing bath and just listen to some beautiful music and just relax, So being the month of love, I really want to encourage you to just show yourself some kindness and show yourself some compassion and give yourself a time every day to just have that mental break, to just be able to slow down and nurture yourself and love yourself. And not only will you feel better, but you can change the world. You can change the world by being more loving to yourself, which will allow you to be more loving and kind to other people. And that can spread more love and joy to the world. And you're probably going to feel a lot better too in that energy. And I would love to see what shows up for you when you're more in that relaxed, loving, flowing, nurturing kindness energy towards yourself versus I have a million things on my to-do list and I can't get everything done in a day. Why do I have so much to do? This is so annoying. I just wish I could sit down and relax energy. So I bet you will see that your manifestations will show up faster and things will start magnetizing to you a little bit faster when you're in that different energy. And I'm so excited about next week, guys. I have one of my best friends coming on. She is known as the happiness mentor, and she's going to be talking to us a lot more about how to really love yourself and how to really nurture that relationship and what that entails and how to start and why it's so important to have that loving relationship with yourself. So join me next week. I can't wait to introduce her. And remember, friend, to dream big, follow your heart, and never give up on you because you're worth it. Thank you for joining me today on the Mindset Chick podcast. I hope this show has you waking up every morning excited about the new manifestations you have created in your life. And if you would honor me with a 5-star review over in iTunes, I will happily enter your name in my Mindset Chick swag giveaway. Make sure you add your name to the review and I will reach out to you if you're the winner. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Be sure to visit me at mindsetchick.com for past episodes and more gifts that will help you to manifest your dreams into reality.